state of traffic. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. 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 Crank it up.
And hello everyone, and welcome back here to PTM Racing TV, where we are live here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway here in Nashville, Tennessee. Hi again everyone, I'm the Christian Crusader Shriver. Welcome back to the show, and as we're heading it up tonight here, let's take a look real quick at our track tech talk. As we're seeing it here, you can see the drivers in the Super Late Models division driving on this oval style of Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Very diverse in its track style, very hard to master, and with the nighttime weather kind of coming into effect and really setting up for the air and condition here, this will definitely set more towards a little more of a longer run. But I'm not going in it alone here tonight. No, siree, Bob. I have a little help, and I have a little friend with me here, and his name just so happens to be the guy that helped get this started in the first place. The man himself, Sparkalicious, Dustin Sonaker. Sparky, how you doing, buddy?
Well, it is glad to be back here with you. It's been quite a while. I figured after the other weekend, said you'd like to have me back up here with you. I figured, well, why the heck not? Why don't we just come back up on here and be like old times again?
Well, I was waiting for you to come in here all several times here, and I was just trying to think, well, okay, I'm keeping asking for people to come in and help me, because I know I can only say so much before everyone thinks I'm repetitive, but hey, at least I got a hand or two out here, so that's always good news for me, and a little bit of a hand here, so thankfully at least you guys don't have to no longer hear me just talking about the same thing over and over again. I got somebody that might have a little fresher mindset than me, so.
Yeah, always good to have a little bit of a break, I'd say.
Well, I mean, for me it is, because at least, you know, with the producers, I have to deal with them and their constant nagging me, working on these overlays when they're popping up, so that helps me out quite a bit. But hey, we're in qualifying right now. We got our eyes on some drivers here, and the eyes on the prize, and we'll get to the main race here in just a moment. Jeffrey Oaks currently out finishing his laps. We do have the scoring right now up on the show. You'll see a lot of that as time goes on. You'll see this Tower of Doom, and you'll see you'll see our little scroll bar working around here tonight. We're doing them both here. So currently, as we are about ready to finish up, we've only got about what do we got there, Sparky? About a minute left here on the clock. Yeah.
Yeah, just roughly about 50 seconds or so there. They're just getting everything all wound up here.
Well, at least I know I can trust you to actually get these things done when I need them to.
Well, after the producers been having trouble, somebody got to keep somebody in line around here.
Well, you would think around here sooner or later the producers would have got tired of me and fired me, but no. They're like, oh, you're like a director. We got to keep you around. It's like, dirt Sherlock. So of course I have a little bit of work here to do. That's kind of the whole point of why we use PTM Racing TV. We are the voice of it, and we are the ones helping control everything out there. And you know, down there, the race officials do their job. We're just up here having fun and screwing around as we do. But we're ready to get to the drivers' lineup here in just a moment. Qualifying is now starting to finish up. So we'll see how they will grid up and start here. And Sparky, There's a lot of top names in this one here. Over 10 drivers have locked in with us here. 12 in total, I believe, are ready to set pace for tonight's action.
Absolutely right. Yeah, we got some names up there. We got the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn up there. We got Cindy Taylor, who just won a truck race recently. We got Hoffy in there, Oaksy. We got quite a show out there. The usual names out there. Got a couple different names I'm not used to yet, but definitely got a good group out here tonight.
Well, let's help you out with that then and start them on the pole with Tyler Holden. The 41 is outside. That Rattlesnake you just mentioned, Robert Kahn, 21. Row number 2, Cindy the Closer Taylor in the 7 to her outside. It's Joe Nuttleman in the number 4. Row 3, Matthew Hoffer in the 84 is outside. Jeffrey Oakes in the 20. Row 4 is going to be Brian Healy in the 83 is outside. The throttle, Chantel Bottle in the 5. Row 5, it's Warren Young in the number 1 is outside. The 10, a Shad Lancaster. Row number 6 is going to be Jeffrey Tufts in the 72 is outside. This, well, it's not supposed to be you, does it? What are you doing down there? You're not supposed to be on the track!
Uh-oh. Problems!
Sorry, row 7, it's going to be Brian Kling in the 15 and then final starter Jesse Baker in the 79. I swear I'm already going to have to shame you on this one.
That's all right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are set and ready to go here. And despite the fact our earlier issues, we have a little comparison 2 and 2 together. I'm going to have to show you how to actually go in and watch these things, not actually put yourself in the track and run these things like you're actually going to run it. That's for the Enduros.
Well, I was going to try to do both. I was going to try to do something different for once, but I don't think it's going to work.
No, not in your case it ain't. So that's why I have you in the booth here to keep you out of trouble. But apparently you still find a way to put yourself in trouble. So thanks a lot.
Hey, gotta call some mischief out here.
Sure. All right. Well, we're looking through our driver's field right now, and currently this is your driver's lineup here up on the show, so you can follow along with the drivers. I know Cindy the Closer Taylor has the 11 on her scheme. Don't worry, folks, that's just a custom number she's got on that. That's why she looks a little different than you would have seen on the original 11. But make no bones about it, she still is in the 7. She just has the number on there, unfortunately, kind of messing up the whole situation. So nope, lineup is set and good to go, so we are ready to field them on down and get things situated through for tonight's action here of the Pedal to the Metal Racing League Series. This is the Super Late Models Week 3 edition for Season 3 here held at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And this track, and Sparky, I was down there earlier, this track is tight and it can be hard to master, especially with these fixed setups. They're going to have to watch those tire pressures tonight.
They definitely do. It's really a old Nashville racetrack here. It's still old and still got bite to it, and these guys are really going to have to be careful. Really coming off the corners, I think, is most key here, is just getting off these corners really well. But yeah, you're right. They're really going to take care of their cars out here tonight. These sweeping turns here, very much so, could wear these tires out. So keeping care of those tires is going to be very important.
They are indeed, my friends. So here we go. We'll bring them out of turn 2 this time by race fans. We are ready to go racing here now as they will pull them off of the back straightaway. They will bring them out of the turn 3 and 4, and then it's time to send the checkers up and get the green going.
Yep, here we go, getting ready. This is the exciting part here, when we get that green flag, get them all wound up.
Get them all wound up and wait for the flag man you see on the screen to drop the flag and get them going. And here we go.
And here we go off into turn 1. Tyler Holden already getting out to a good lead here as they come off of turn 2 here. Oh, we got problems in the backstretch.
Problems there out of turn 2. Unfortunately, Brian Healy in the 83 gets loose and sidewinded out of that one. Unfortunately, nowhere to go.
And that looks like that was only one car, so there's not going to be a caution for that, it looks like. Normally it has to be involved more than 2 cars involved in that. There's another one going sideways back there.
We're going back to the PTM Instant Replay to find out what happened here. Right now, it looks like Healy just overdrove it there out of turn 2 and had nowhere to go, almost crossed into Chantel Throttle Bottle there. Taking another look at it from another angle here so you guys can see what exactly he's doing. He got right below that yellow line, and unfortunately, once you get below that yellow line, try to bring it back up. Just gets you into more trouble than it's worth, unfortunately, and that's exactly what happened to Healy on the start. And that was a PTM Instant Replay there, Sparky.
Yeah, that was so. fast going on there while we were doing that replay going on there. We had another car had trouble. Mr. Chad Lancaster looked like he had the same problem coming off of turn 2, got loose and got in the wall. There's just action all over the place.
There is indeed, and right now Robert the Rattlesnake Khan trying to get up there to Tyler Holden, but we know with Khan usually he's always kind of laying back a little bit, waiting for his right time to strike, but Holden right now doing a pretty good job stabilizing himself in and setting the tone earlier on for him. Will he be able to keep it? We'll find out as time goes on, but we're going back real quick to the PTM Instant Replay and find out what happened here. Chad Lancaster there. Here's the PTM Instant Replay in all of its glory. We'll see right here. It comes out of turn 2, and like you said there, Sparky, looks like he just got a little too hard on it. Sideways, actually, Ryan Kling. And looks like the setting 2 there of Todd Tufts ends up actually getting kind of caught up in that. And I'm surprised there was no caution called there from that area. I don't know if maybe they didn't say something or what was done, but whoa!
Ooh! Whoa! We got problems on the backstretch again.
We do indeed. It looks like.
Oh, we got 2 cars involved. There's no Healy's involved. 3 now. Oh my goodness. We got the 15.
Yellow flag is out. Yellow flag is out. Caution's out. Yeah, but trying to go through the replays, trying to figure out what the heck happened. Next thing you know, all of a sudden we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 now.
Yeah, that was Joe Nuttleman in that 4 car. I was trying to get a number on that. It was kind of hard to see because the numbers were a little bit off there just a little bit. But I saw his car go completely sideways, and then they was just all piling in behind him.
Joker Joe Nuttleman, that 4 unfortunately tagged in and having some problems early on. Tough break there for him. We saw Brian Healy as well getting caught up in that situation. Issues for him. And then Ryan Kling in the 15 had probably some of the worst damage there for him. And not the way they want to start off here at all. So we'll head back real quick to the PTM Instant Replay and for sure catch exactly what the heck happened and where it all started at to begin with. Right there, looks like OC might have caught him there out of turn 2 there, Sparky, and it looked like maybe there's just a little bit too much trouble. He comes to a complete stop, and Kling didn't even see him there, and unfortunately, Healy just tagged right afterwards. He was trying to avoid it. There was nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, exactly. You figured at this track here, I mean, there is some room here, but there's not really too much room, and it's hard to. You got action going on. You got an accident happening. Sometimes it is kind of hard to try to avoid something like that on a track like this.
It is indeed. Here we're taking a look. Looks like Joker Joe, unfortunately, as he was going into turn 2, he got a little too hard on the throttle, and all of a sudden his night just kind of came to an end there for the start anyway, because he was definitely slowed up a bit. But I don't see any foul play on the end of Jeffrey Oaks here. We're going to take it to the onboard camera here while they currently get situated down there with the problems there. So he worked their way through here out of turn 2, and yeah, man, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think he just got loose off that corner, but it's hard to tell from our camera angle. If the producers would actually get a better angle here, that would be nice. All right, this time we got it for sure. All right, so here we go. From the blimp cam, we see, yeah, right there, he got loose on his own, and Oaksy just tagged him, and that's kind of about the best way to put it there, unfortunately.
That's what it looked like to me too. It just looked like he was already getting a little loose, getting a little out of shape there, and just Oaksy kind of just helped him the rest of the way around.
He definitely did indeed. First caution out for the drivers here. I have 120 laps to the distance, and hopefully with all the mayhem and chaos, now we can actually calm down and get back to normal here, because I know with these super late miles, they're fun to watch and they give you a little bit of a run, but we do have a lot of stuff going on tonight there.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot of stuff going on. It seems like when we kept going to the instant replay, something else was happening in the background while that was going on. And it's just like just action just every lap here so far.
Sometimes it's hard to keep up here, even when you're a one-man gang. You now got 2 guys in the booth, and now all of a sudden you're trying to figure out how we're going to set this up perfectly. So,
exactly.
So that's the fun that comes with the job, folks.
Well, looks like the lights are out on the pace car. Looks like we're getting ready to get back at it here.
They are turning the lights off here on this rack. We are ready to get back to action indeed, and my friend, and right now it will be on the starter, Tyler Holden, holding it off as Robert Kahn will try to take his position away here and take that spot from him. He's going to have a lot of guys to take on here and a lot of folks to really hold off in this run here. We'll see if it works well for him, but if you're just watching it for the first time here on Facebook or you're catching the later race here on YouTube, we do appreciate you tuning on in and hope you subscribe to YouTube and like or follow us here on Facebook. As we're about ready to set the pace again, the green lights flash up. We're back underway.
They go down into turn 1, and looks like the Rattlesnake's got a good run up on this outside. If he can hold it up there, he might be able to get around Holden coming down the back stretch, and he will. And oh, Holden's going up the hill.
Holden up the hill, unfortunately nowhere to go. Gets a little tag there from the closer. Closer gets into it there. Nice save though from that. Wow.
Oh my goodness, wow, a little doink, a little ding, but we all keep going. A little bit of front fender damage here on Cindy's car, but hopefully that won't affect her too much here.
Oh, as we say that though, there's even bigger problems. Jeffrey Oaks comes to a complete stop here out of turn 3 into 4, and caution is out. Caution is out at long last. That's a lot to take in for resuming the race here. What the heck happened there?
Let's take a look at the take a look here and see what exactly. Oh, I think I see what's already happened here.
While you take a look and see what you saw there, we're taking it back to the PTM Instant Replay and catching exactly where it went wrong there for Holden and Cindy there. Here's the full replay from the start. Then we'll go and take a look at what happened to Jeffrey Oaks as we go to it. So here's what happened on the start here. Go up to the blimp cam, and then look at this. Con goes down low, defends off Holden. Holden had to go up, and then a little tag there from Oaksy. I think that's probably what got Holden a little sideways, a little bumpy there on that road. Cindy and him managing to hold it off. Nice driving there. But then as they come out of turn 3 and 4, you can see they're still tied off the spot, trying to battle it in hard. And then unfortunately right out of turn 3 and 4, that's where everything else kind of started. And Hoffert, buddies with Oaksy, decides to give Oaksy the old little love tap. And unfortunately that was not the love tap I think he was looking for. Got tagged in there pretty bad, and that ended up sending out the caution for the first part of this race.
Yes, indeed, and there was just, after Oaksy got spun around there was just nowhere for the other cars to go. Warren Young and the one got into him there, and it looks like Jeffrey Todd Tufts there in the 72 also getting the unfortunate end on that one.
He did indeed, unfortunately, as we're getting our onboard cameras here as well. You can see Holden, even though he's got his little thing of soda right there, he's drinking, and a little water, whatever he's got in that cup. Got a little damage on the right side there on that fender. You can see it up on the corner of your screen there, and unfortunately that may slow him down just a little bit, but I don't think it'll affect him too much for the long haul. He's just going to have to work with what he's got. But they are working with fast repairs, so.
I was just about to ask that. They said they still do have the 3 fast repairs here, so, you know. Always be good, though, to when you use those and how you use those, because once you use them up, you got what you got at that point.
The 3 sets of, was it 3 fast repairs, and how many sets of tires they got down there, Sparky?
That's a good question. I believe is it 5? I believe 5 sets or 4 sets?
I believe it would be 5. If you take a look down that race info that I sent you down below in the iRacing, you actually could check a look at all that there, so.
It is 5 sets. I was correct. Okay, I'm making sure my bifocals wasn't bent or anything. I'll make sure I was looking at that right.
Well, I mean, by then you would have thought by now how many times we've done this, over years of this now, for crying out loud. You would have thought, but I'd sent you all the information. You would actually read over those papers and figure out that we're about ready to go back to green flag racing. So I should probably shut up and let you and I get back to the business here.
Absolutely. Yep, we're about ready to get rolling here.
All right, folks. So let's
right here.
Well, they'll bring him down here out of turn 3, back and by out of turn 4. You see the flagman getting ready to wave them down and wave them on in. You see the second caution was out, but this time we're back to racing. 1/6 the way there. Lights come on. We're back to go.
Now, let's see if Holden can use that outside line like Robert Kahn did the first time. Nope, he's not going to be able to get up the side of it like Kahn did. Kahn, he's going to try it again here in 3 and 4, though. But nope, not going to work.
The GreenTech Energy VA there. Chantel Throttle Bottle moving her way through in the number 5. She's starting to get a little bit of momentum there up into the zone, but the Rattlesnake right now still defending off. Can the Yatel 21 hold off just a little longer? He's got time to work with.
Speaking of him, I was impressed how he used that outside line on that previous restart to get around with 41. He was able to hold it up there and make that easy pass around him around the outside. That was a pretty awesome move there.
Pretty clever indeed. Here comes Cindy the Closer Taylor looking to the corner there of the throttle. Chantel Bottle moves him back out of turn 3 into 4. She's got a big jump there going through and makes a nice clean pass there on the inside. Very smartly done on her end, managing to hold out for quite a bit. In the back though, Brian Healy in the 83. He's trying to build some momentum and trying to fight back after the earlier issues he had.
Taking a look back through here, taking a look at Oaksy. Oaksy still got a good bit of damage on his car, so he did not use a fast repair here, so he's going to go out there with what he's got. Looking at Chad Lancaster here, too, in the 22 car.
It's pretty smart than what sometimes you think about trying not to use up those fast repairs too early or too late. You know, that's one thing that Pedal to the Metal has always been kind of more known about, is just how long some of these drivers will wait until the time comes to actually get in there and put the fast repair to use. And now they're starting to build up a little bit of a single file draft. Looks like Warren Young and Chantel Bottle are going to revisit an old rivalry they've had here, because the Caterpillar 1 of Warren is starting to move his way in.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is kind of starting to get calmed down a little bit. Not a whole lot of side-by-side action now. Everybody's kind of just minding their P's and Q's and just, you know, taking it easy, I guess.
One thing I've kind of noticed here with these speed. Oh no! Look at it, turn 3 and 4. We got problems. Warren Young and Chantel tagged in there. Oh, and Todd Tuss and Healy goes for a ride as well, unfortunately. Or I should say that was a 22, unfortunately, getting tagged in. Caution does come out, and that may have just been hard racing right there for you folks, but that was not what any one of them wanted to have happen.
Oh man, especially since that's like right up there in the top 5 position there. It's a tough way to go right there, because that's going to send all those guys to the back now with all that damage and problem.
It is indeed, and here we take a look at the replay. Here you see Warren just drove it in a little too hard there in the corner, and Chantel brought it down just a little bit, and then Todd Tuff sends a tag in there on the rear end of her.
Oh. Yeah, that's what it looked like to me, too. It looked like he just got in there just a little bit too deep in there, just enough to tag Chantel Pottle there right in that corner, just enough to get her turned around. And then, just again, track almost looks like it gets blocked and everybody gets kind of piled in there.
One thing to note tonight, folks, is these drivers are working on fixed setups. They are not doing the usual reopen setups. That's one unique thing about the Super Late Model division, is that they are opening up to half fixed and half open. Well, I would say half and half, but it is more or less kind of the idea of it, because they are doing a few races where it's fixed setups, and these open setups are going to be kind of put to rest for a little bit and give these drivers a little bit more of an evened out shot, if you will, because they are running on what iRacing is bringing to them.
That's right. Pretty much on this thing, it's where everybody just can't do very much to these cars. They're just based on a base fixed setup. All the tire pressures are the same. All the track bars, everything on these cars are the same. So it's more or less puts it in the driver's hands at this point than what's under the hood and the equipment on the car.
For sure there, and as we are about ready to double file them back up onto the restart zone, Tyler Holden will be the man to beat on the start. Will he be able to hold it off? We'll find out when we return. Well, tonight's race for Pedal to the Metal Racing League is brought to you in part by Maconi Setup Shop. Only the best and fast setups come from Maconi Setup Shop. Visit up their website, MaconiSetupShop.com, to find the right setup for your next race. By Matt Mills Racing Team, best Xfinity team out there, a sponsor supporting Pedal to the Metal Racing League this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing Team, visit them up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out their merch store on Facebook. Great shirts to check out there. By Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts. Bob's Custom Trophies is displaying up the trophies for the season champs this season. And if you're trying to get the best hardware gift for your next visit, be sure to visit bobscustomtrophies.com for more information. And I mentioned those trophies. Here's a nice little look at those beautiful pieces of artwork. And also by simracingmerch.com, the perfect way to show your passion for sim racing. And I've right now actually the Sparky I'm wearing right now something from simracingmerch.com with my my stocks that I got from PTMRacingStore.com on Teespring there. Got the old semi-pro fake race car driver here on it. Match up what I do usually on the dirt, buddy.
All right, that is pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome that you get such cool merchandise just like that. That's just good stuff right there.
It is indeed, and I love every minute of it, but I also love one thing else, and that's actually watching some races. So let's get back down to business as the green flag flies back out. Tyler Holden will have the early advantage, but Joker Joe Nudelman decided he wanted to try to corner in the inside a little bit. They take it down, that back straight away, almost a 3 wide smooth persistent there. They hold it out though.
Absolutely, man. Getting a little racy back there from about 3rd, 4th, 5th on back. They're all kind of just jumbled up back there.
Trouble there at turn 4, Warren Young, though.
Uh-oh.
Comes to a complete stop and spun around there, but it doesn't seem like it's affecting him too much there. But the same can't be said for the rattlesnake. Robert Kahn, the 21, comes to a complete stop almost on the backstretch. Sparky, can you see what the heck's going on with these guys there?
Yeah. I don't know what was going on there for a moment. Just trying to take a look at that here real quick.
Looks like madness all over the place here, bud.
Yeah. Even with the, looks like the producers are messing with me now.
Well, right now, speaking of producers messing with you, right currently, after the little incident there from Warren Young, the Frost, Chantal Paul having to go to work here on Jeffrey Todd Zuffs in that 72. Todd right now trying to make up for the issues and problems he had at Bristol and trying to make back forward with some runs here, but he's got the rattlesnake. Robert Condit is inside now, taking corner and in out turn 2.
Okay, I see what happened with Mr. Warren Young there. It looks like he was checking up in the corner there, and Oaksy just got him in the rear end just enough to turn him around.
And it looks like we got even more trouble around here on the front stretch. Caution lights are on because we've got a problem. Hofford and Kling caught up in this one on the front stretch there, Sparky.
All right, take a look at that. See, there's just action all over the place. It is pretty hard to keep up at times with all this stuff going on.
Now, you would think with 2 people around here, we'd actually be able to keep up a little more, but no, we're still kind of getting used to things, and unfortunately around here, that's one thing we don't want to keep doing around here. Kling didn't get into the wall at turn 4, just drove and tagged Hopper. Caution had to come out because of it.
Yeah, it looks like Kling got into the wall and he came off the wall, and just Hopper just happened to be there, unfortunately, and just the momentum from the 15 just hit the 84 and spun him down into the inside wall. Just a very unfortunate break.
He did try to back off, but once that car is already in that situation, it's hard to really get out of that problem zone and into a better area, and that definitely set him up back quite a ways. And it's a tough break there for Kling and Palford, but there is a lot of laps left to complete, so it's not like they don't have time to possibly bring that back for them.
Oh yeah, definitely plenty of time to get back up there and get back after it again.
Well, while you're learning to figure that out, we're going to cut to another quick commercial message and have a word from our sponsors. Tonight's race also brought to you in part by our good friends over at Grid Finder. Grid Finder is the best way to find a new league. Filter your search by race day or geographical region, gaming platform, racing sim, and car class. Need a broadcaster, live redesigner? Search Grid Finder, the home of online racing. By the ButtKicker. Best of performance for feeling on real tracks of the virtual world. The ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. By FEGPC.net. Matching your want with your wallet. FEGPC.net will always work with your needs to build the best PC at the right price. By Brandon Minnick Sim Racing. Be sure to go on over to his page and support his merchandise and iRacing journey. Thank you again to Brandon Minnick for being a supporter of the race shows. By Pottlez Wrapz. If you want your vehicle to match your style on the track, visit Pottlez Wrapz for just that. The most affordable designs made at your leisure. And by GreenTech Energy. Leading the way in solar energy and company. GreenTech Energy. Support them up on Facebook and their journey as they continue to help better our world. And right about now, I would say the only thing I would love to also better up is the issues coming from those caution flags right now. But Sparky, these guys are getting really hard on those runs and getting pretty crazy. But I mean, I would say the fixed setup might be actually kind of hurting them a little bit, if anything, because they may not be used to the way it comes off those corners, especially with how tight Nashville can be.
Yeah, and you make a good point about the fixed setup thing. The downfalls to that is the fixed setup isn't for everybody. Everybody has their different driving style and everything else of how their cars want to set up. And you deal with a fixed setup, it's basically you got what you got. And like I said earlier, it's basically the driver ability, but it's also for comfort too. And some of these guys with a fixed setup may not be as comfortable with those as they would be if they'd like to tinker on the car a little bit and make it more drive like what they wanted to.
For sure there, and right now with the drivers currently getting situated back in, double file above for the restart here, we are almost ready to go back to green flag racing. Tyler Holden will lead the charge. Joker Joe Nuttleman in the 4 looks like he's gone into pit road to get some damage fixed up on that one, so hopefully that will help him out. Or did he? Looks like he might still have that damage on that left front. Nope, looks like he still got a little damage there on the left corner. It's not as bad though, I would say.
No, not as bad at all. As we get ready to get back underway here, we're about ready to get that green flag. Here they come around turn 4, and here we go one more time.
Strap the belts on a little tighter and see if this thing will fly. All right, coming out of the back straightaway early on there. Looks like Joe Nuttleman will try to hold his line on the bottom while Holden tries to stay more towards the middle ground. Probably not a bad idea considering you got to be careful about how low you get here. The bottom line obviously is the faster line, but it's hard to really keep pace and keep control, especially with how tight this track can be as they feel it around here out of turn to the backstretch.
Coming into turn 3 and 4, Holden still with the lead. And what's amazing about the 41 car, he's still got the damage on there, and he's been out there on these old tires. He is not, I've not seen him hit pit road just yet, so he's been out here staying out front the whole time. Maybe that's the right strategy here.
It could very well be, but also the right strategy is trying to move your way through the field. That's exactly what the closer, Cindy Taylor, is up to. If she goes to the inside there of the throttle, Chantel Pottle, you've got a battle for third place here between the ladies.
Yep, and oh, she's going to try to take second too while she's at it. She gets under Nettleman coming off of turn 2 down the back straightaway into turn 3. A little bit of a doink there, and there goes Nettleman up the hill, puts Cindy up into the second position.
Daily double reach there for Cindy. The closer Taylor moves it in there around Joker Joe Nuttleman. Joe falls back quite a ways and unfortunately lost all his ground. I think that little bobble kind of hurt him, especially with that damage on that car. It's not going to help him out too much there, Scarson.
No, sir. No, sir. Not at all. That damage really starting to affect him a little bit already as he's going to drop back. Meanwhile, we've got a battle for second here. As here comes that Rattlesnake in the 21. He's now going to work on Cindy as they head down into 1 and 2.
They're even into the turn 2. They're trying to work their way through and try to stay in the play. Rattlesnake tries to get a little more low. I guess after we just kind of blurted our way out of that one, we realize now that the battle for second kind of crossed over into the battle for third here there, Sparky.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it just kind of crosses over from one battle to the next. Once you get one battle done, then another one starts. And now it looks like it's kind of toning down there a little bit now.
Yeah, I guess they kind of decided they had to low off a little bit. I think they were getting a little too aggressive, maybe just thinking they don't want any more issues around there. But the thing is, with this track, it's easier said than done to not get a little too far and hit up some stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. And checking back here, looking at Mr. Todd Tufts back here in the 72. Looks like he's got a little bit of a blink problem going on there. Hopefully that rectifies itself. Looks like it has.
Seems like it has. Looks like in the chat we got some friends join us in. Brendan Tracy says that Dark Moon Motorsports Plan B Sales 41 looks good up there. Oh, that turn 2. There we go. Above that turn 4.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like that was Mr. Nettleman. It looks like he got a little bit of help from Mr. Oaksey there in that one turn there.
He did indeed. The caution's still not out, though. There's nothing we can do about that, but we can do one thing, and that's take a look at the PTM Instant Replay and see what exactly happened there as we come down out of that corner. That was a little bit of a tag and a half there, and he got hit pretty good.
I got him right there in that right rear quarter, right where the tire was almost basically there, and around he went.
He did right there, yep. Oaksey just kind of brought it in, and yeah, hard to really tell from that angle. Maybe if there was a little bit of a tighter spot up there, we'll take it to the blimp cam here and see if maybe Nuttleman brought it down there on him. But, you know, that's just the thing with this track that's so easy to make a mistake on is just you overdrive it the slightest bit and it just completely messes up your game plan.
And you got to figure, too, also, Oaksey still got that damage on his car, too. So it's going to, especially with that right front quarter panel there, front fender there on the right front, that may be pushing that car a little bit. When he gets in the corner, it's not sticking like it should.
Could very well be. We're back to the action here, though. Now live still. We got a halfway point to be reached here. Cindy the closer, Taylor in third with Rob of the Rattlesnake Con up in the lead, but Joker Joe Nuttleman kind of almost holding off, though. Tyler Holden, the 41, Holden trying to get around him here on the backstretch, and he's successful.
Looks like Mr. Nettleman is definitely going to be off the pace here now with that damage as he'll go a lap down here, unfortunately. As we'll see the Rattlesnake, we'll see if he can get back up there and give Mr. Holden a challenge there.
On board with the Rattlesnake himself currently, he was trying to get up there to Tyler Holden, and no, that was not our end, folks. That was Colin's unfortunate internet problems. It seems like even though where he's at in Pennsylvania, they still can't get internet like Texas does, unfortunately. By the way, prayers to our boys and girls over in Texas. I know a lot of folks that we'll be seeing in our next race from Mississippi Dirt are down there, and I do feel sorry for everyone down there. Hope you guys are doing okay and you're getting better with after that huge burn down of the weather and all that.
Yeah, definitely an eye opener down there for those folks down there in Texas. That's a big shocker. They're not used to that kind of stuff down there. So yeah, just definitely keeping them on our thoughts and prayers there for those folks down there.
Caution comes out now here up on the show, and I'm not sure where that came from exactly. Sparky, can you see the cars there on the track going to stop there?
Let's see. I didn't see anybody stop there for the moment where I was looking at.
I'm not getting any word either from the producers here. It looks like maybe there was looks like maybe it was the half point caution. Unfortunately, we were not aware of the stage breaks here, so I think that just might be their halfway caution to re-rack and restack them up. I'm not seeing any cars on the track though, spun out or destroyed, so I think they're okay.
Yeah, I was looking back through there and I didn't see anybody like off the pace or anybody like wrecked up or anything, so that's probably, you're correct. It's probably like a stage caution or a halfway caution at this point.
So at this point, that's how they set it up and that's how they'll play it out. The damage up on Holden, I think, will get repaired on this time by. But and it is indeed, as you see on the screen. So while they get things fixed in, we'll have a little word from our sponsors here tonight. All right, you know.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey. I started trying them over the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
At Maconi Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.maconisetupshop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. Maconi Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to the show now, folks, as we're about ready to get things back underway here, pacing them on around here out of turn 3 down in turn 4, and Tyler Holden will have the start. Cindy the Coulter Taylor will try to match him on this as we have reached the halfway point. Only a few laps to go here, Sparky. Will they be able to hold it here? We'll see now. Here we go.
We're off and running as we go down to turn 1, and look at that. Tyler Holden just sails it off in there and just takes it off. Hoffy, though, on the 84 car, he's going to try to make a run here for a second, and oh no, what's going on? Oh my goodness, the leader spun.
Tyler Holden in turn 2, losing it completely out of the turn, and I'm not sure if he just overdrove that or lost it, but Oaksy even now is having a little bit of trouble there at turn 4, and Nashville just bit him right where he hurts the most. He had nowhere to go.
Wow. Wow, that's just surprising. He'd been running so well all race long and was taken off, and then all of a sudden he just lost it.
We'll take a look at the replay here in a minute, but right now, currently, these drivers are trying to battle it in for the first place spot, while Cindy the Closer Taylor looks to try to do the unthinkable and go back-to-back on 2 different series. She had has yet to do that, and she just got her first win in the trucks on Bristol, but she told us earlier it was not deserved in her opinion. She felt like she could have done better. She wants it now.
Absolutely. You get that momentum from winning one race, you want to win some more. And definitely right about that. She's hungry for another one.
Whoa, Chantel's brought a puddle out of turn 2. Almost completely lost it there. Chances to save it, gets cleared out of there. The same area that Holden got caught up in, but Oaksley makes the pass up for 5th.
So you can almost say at this point, oh, whoa, Nettleman almost got there. Almost, but not quite. Oh, we got the wall there a little bit too. But like I was saying, it looks like turn 2 has been calamity corner here tonight. It looks like people are really having a hard time getting off that corner.
He is indeed right now. Currently, we're on board with Ryan Kling, who's got a good eyesight of Joker Joe in that upper 4 machine. And for those who are wondering why we call him Joker Joe, well, that's because he's got the Heath Ledger Joker on the side of his car there. So you see it pretty good on our end here. It's pretty sweet looking ride nonetheless, but that's kind of where his nickname Joker Joe comes from.
Hopefully he'll have a couple more tricks up his sleeve here as he rides here behind Chantel Pottle here on the inside of the throttle. Pottle inside of Chad Lancaster in the 22, and she's going to take that spot. Well, nope. As soon as I say that, here he comes right back down on the bottom.
Cross over out of turn 4 there. Lancaster tries to put the boot back to the throttle, but Chantel decides, I know how to put a pedal to the metal when I see it. I'm not letting you just take me down that easily.
Wow, good racing on turn 2. That was tight, but they both didn't even make contact or nothing. Boy, this is a good little battle here for this 5th position between these two.
Good little battle behind him as well for 7th with Joker Joe and Ryan Kling here. Has a little bit of trouble.
Oh, well, never mind.
Well, you had to say something about that.
Oh no, I think we jinxed him.
I think we did indeed here. Caution's still not out though. I don't know if they're going to call it now. I think it might be too late.
Yeah, that was definitely 2 cars involved in that. I'm surprised they didn't call the caution on that one, but we keep on going.
I don't know if the race officials might have missed it or not, but we'll definitely take a look at the replay in a second because we got a lot. Well, you know we have a lot of replays to check out, but currently Cindy the Closer Taylor is catching up on those guys that just crashed. There it is. Yellow flag does come out at last, so 2 cars involved, but I'm surprised no one called it the first time there, Sparky.
Yeah, because that was definitely 2 cars, and they were definitely stopped. It looks like, based on what I could see here, it looks like Kling just got into the rear end of Nettleman going into the corner, and that's all it took.
Here's what happened here. Race leader right out of the gate here. He was on his own there. That's nothing to his end. He just completely loses the entire car out of that turn, and I'm not sure. That was just maybe a little too hard on the throttle, and he just got a little too eccentric on it, or maybe he just got a little too in it. But there's one thing I know about Nashville is you cannot overdrive that corner. If you try to put it too hard off the throttle and just full send it, it will hurt you more than it will make you better. And unfortunately, there for Holden, that set him back quite a ways. Now let's take a look at what happened here to Nettleman. You got the onboard camera here. This is Nettleman and Kling on the bottom right of your screen there. Watch the 15. He just drove it in a little too hard, and Nettleman had nowhere to go. He was backing his corner up, and Kling just kind of tagged him, and that's where the trouble started. And 2 cars involved in that one. And that's what set up the PTM Instant Replay, brought to you by, of course, our PTM Racing TV's merchandise store. If you guys haven't already, check out for your fashion line and info there. We got some good stuff to show, and I've already been wearing most of my stuff. I mentioned my socks earlier, but, you know, I've got quite a few shirts at home there, Sparky. I think you got to check that store out sometime.
Yeah, definitely I'll have to go on there and take a look and see what other good stuff they have on there. Might have to Vincent Monet.
I think you might have to indeed, my friend. All right. Well, looks like Todd Tubbs, looks like he's having a little bit of a situation there with the blinking. That means the internet, unfortunately, is crashing harder than his car can, and that's not good. Todd knows he's in trouble here. If that keeps going like that, that can set you back up for a lot of problems. Looks like it's fixed now. No, I had to jinx him.
Yeah, sometimes we have a little bit of connection blurps issues going on where we have a little blinky blink show going on, and looks like he's really dealing with that hard deal here. That's going to have to be something these guys are going to have to watch out for sure.
Tyler Holden, a new driver to the show here tonight, to the speed, so it's great to have him on board. And even though we had that little bobble and error there, we always like to give a little show and ship to everyone on the show. We don't want to leave anybody out. We want to make sure we get as many guys and gals as we can up on the show. That's the main thing we want to do here in PTM Racing TV, and I think the main thing for any broadcaster, we want to just give everyone a little limelight in the sport of iRacing, because honestly, this is legitimately a sport, here, Sparky. It is hard as it gets when it comes to the video game landscape of racing to try to even perfect and prosper with the top tier level drivers and the guys and gals that have made the sport so hard and good to go.
Absolutely. And this type of racing here, this stuff keeps you on your toes. You gotta go out there and you gotta practice. You gotta go out there and you gotta, take the time to go out here and run these tracks, learn these cars, and everything. It is the top of the crop, I'd say so. And it is good to, and we got all these guys out here, and we give everybody some love out here. Everybody needs some love out here on the racetrack.
Absolutely. As the Macho Man once says, you got to be the cream of the crop, yeah. And they will take it down out of turn 4, and we'll find out who exactly is going to be the cream of the crop as they swing it out here. No. Wait a minute, the flagman still has that yellow up. He's saying, wait a minute, we're not ready yet. We're not ready.
Yeah, I think what the problem is here, I'm looking at that 72 car, and it looks like he is going to the back of the line here. So maybe that blinky stuff that's going on, maybe the race officials are trying to be a little bit careful here, and maybe they're just going to send him to the back here and make sure that issue caused.
Might be a smart thing in this case, because considering everything that goes down there, there's so much that goes at stake in that blinking little issue. It may not seem like a big issue to some, but when you're actually in that track and you're racing, let me tell you something, folks. It can be the difference between taking somebody out and messing up the race completely, or taking yourself out and messing yourself up completely, because you don't know if where their solid line is going to be at to hold out for later. And that's why we mention it so much on the show, to be careful about that, because if it does get you, it gets you pretty good. And right now out of the start, we're back underway. Toffs looks like he's going to be a good sport, just go to the back and deal with his issues later on. But right now, out of turn 2, they are side by side trying to foul their way through and hold out some serious momentum runs. But the big position seems to be Cindy the Colder Taylor, still holding on with Matthew Hoffert falling behind.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Hoffert up here making a name for himself here in this race, up here in the top 5 now, up in the second spot. Now trying to get his position back here. He comes up here for second spot as they head into turn 3.
You saw the sparks flying there right behind Oaksy. That was Todd Tufts getting into the wall protection there, and now that's Hoffert getting into the wall protection now in turn 4. And Chad Lancaster makes a pay, so is Tyler Holden. After that little issue he had earlier, looks like he finally found a way to hold in his line and make sure he can get something going up to the front. Cindy is in his sights.
Yeah, he is. He's really closing in on her really quickly here. Ooh, he got a little wiggly off the floor there. Got to be careful. That rear end got a little bit loose, but he keeps it under control as he tries to bring her in here.
We were talking about it earlier, and that when you're on fresh sets of tires, these things are like slicks on ice. It's just so easy to get loose and spin them really quickly. And that's why we mentioned it before, and we'll say it again. You cannot let that car get too hard off an exit. You have to stabilize it in and get it straight off to get a good run from it.
Yeah, I guess it would be a good definition of the word slicks, like for tires in that case, huh?
Well, if you were in Iowa, you'd be saying a sticking shit out there, but then again, what do I know? Oh! And Holden out of turn 4, we just talked about a second ago, now damage up on the right side. The car completely takes the damage toll.
That's definitely going to hurt that car quite a bit. That was a good shot coming off the corner there. He got right into that wall, and boy, it's really buckled that whole side of his car.
Out of turn 4 here, Brian Healy loses a spot up to Chantel Throttle Pottle. Nice clean pass crossover there out of turn 2 from her end. Meanwhile, right back in the pack here, Warren Young trying to catch up in the Caterpillar number 1 up to the 84's camo machine there. Matthew Hoff for that Black Rifle Coffee car is trying to hang in there with him. As there's trouble there for Brian Healy out of turn, and Ryan Kling out of turn 3 here. Caution is out. Sparky, could you see what happened by chance there on that at all?
Let's see. Let's take a look at that here real quick. It looks like him and Mr. Healy, and Healy got turned around, and that's what happened there. Yeah, it looks like Kling got a little bit into the back end of Healy there, and Healy just kind of did the old slide spin there, and Kling came to a complete stop there right at the entrance of pit road.
Obviously not intentional, by judging by the fact that he tried to come to a complete stop on that end, but we'll take you to 2 onboard cameras. This will be the first one on the nose here. And you can just see how tight he got it on there and how hard it came in, but there was just nowhere to go for him. And then here is the onboard camera here. We're going to take it to the cockpit and show you what we saw there when he got into him there. We're trying to give a lot of angles to the fans and viewers out there, of course, but also this does help out for some other things down the road for people. A lot of the drivers like to go back and watch this stuff and just kind of see like what happens exactly in that car. So we always try to give like every angle, every little spot, not just for the viewers, but also, you know, for the drivers that go back and watch these things. They always love to see like what happened exactly and maybe how they can better themselves for later. And it really does too, because I've gone back and watched some of my races, and I've like seen a big change when I do something a little different, or I don't try to drive it in as hard there, Sparky.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can go back and look back on, you know, back and see what you could have done different, or what you can do, you know, for the next time you come back to a track like this. Just kind of a learning experience sometimes to go back and watch the film and kind of look at different things, kind of like, you know, how football players look at different plays and different defenses and stuff. In racing, you can go back and see maybe if you could have took a different line, maybe if you could have backed off sooner, you know, anything like that.
So they will come across the stripes here and come across their line, and currently Brian Healy in the 83 will be the man to actually catch on the start unless he goes into pit road here, but Tyler Holden, though, on his outside line. If I had to put 2 and 2 together, I would say Healy. Well, he's going to pit road, so I was going to say Holden with a fresher set of tires might help him out a little bit as we take a look at our pit strategy here.
Yeah, I was about to say, after doing like a power slide and looking like a dirt car for about a minute, I said that'd be kind of strange to come back out and lead with them worn tires out there.
Yeah, that's one thing around here you got to be careful about when you're in that track. It's one thing to run it on dirt where you don't have to really worry about those tires at all. It's more or less just focus on how bad the track burns up. But here, no, it's complete opposite. You got to pace yourself in and make sure you set up every corner, every turn, everything set perfectly. That way you're not hurting yourself later.
And especially as much as these tires wear on the asphalt, they really get chewed up really quickly here. It doesn't take much to flat spot them or really, you know, put a lot of wear on these tires. And once they're worn out, you can't get them back. At that point, you're just hanging on for a ride, hoping for a caution, or just hoping you can get it back together.
For sure there, and right now with only 26 laps to go, 25 on the restart here. We'll see how this one plays out and how this one paces out here for him, because Tyler Holden will have the starting gun here as he positions it in. But Sidney the Closer Taylor, man, has been putting a fight and a boot up to him all night long. This might be, in my opinion, one of the best finishes we'll see around here if they can get something going here on these restarts here.
Yeah, absolutely. Them two have been pretty much the top 2 cars here so far, what we've seen so far.
They'll pace them around here out of turn 4. You see that green flag up in the air. That means they're ready to get back to racing. And race we shall.
Here we go down into turn 1 and turn 2. And again, Mr. Holden, he holding that bottom line off of there as they come down the backstretch. Here we go down into turn 3.
Little cornered off, a little loose. Jeffrey Oaks there in the 20 up on the outside line there. The 15's Ryan Kling, while Joker Joe Nuttleman in the number 4 tries to hold it in there with the 22 of Chad Lancaster. Pacing back in around out of turn 1 down to turn 2 here, and Hofford has a pretty good run around Lancaster while Holden takes an early lead.
And that was like Lancaster's having to deal with Mr. Nettleman back there, or is that, yeah, that's Nettleman back there, and now he's got Oaksey all over, so Lancaster stuck up on that outside, not getting the grip up there. Oh, Tuff's up in the wall there a little bit off of turn 1 and 2.
He is indeed. Looking like almost a 3-wide slip there at turn 1, although it was a bad angle from my end, so I couldn't quite see what would happen. But Ryan Kling there going to the outside around him, where Tufts makes the crossover out of turn 3, down turn 4. He's got to run, but he just keeps smacking that wall around. That's one thing that's so hard with these super late models to handle, is just how many times you can smack that wall, and it either can sometimes help you to straighten up, or it makes your life worse. And right now, unfortunately, I don't think it's helping anybody other than maybe just some of the drivers there.
I guess it just depends on how hard you actually hit it. If you just kind of scrape it, it's okay, but if you try to knock the wall down, it ain't going to do you any good.
For sure there. Right now, out of turn 2, though, it is Chad Lancaster who has the advantage over Joker Joe Nuttleman, while Todd Tufts falls right behind that 72, maybe trying to make a little bit of a change up in position. Trying to wind her down there as Jeffrey Oaks goes out of turn 4 into the wall protection down on the front straightaway. That turn 4 too, man, it's just killing these guys out there.
Yes, it is. Oh, whoa. Oh, there for a minute, I thought there was an almost moment there. I saw the 5 of Chantel Pottle get a little loose off turn 2, but she kept it in tow and keeps it in tow here behind Oaksy here.
Seems like everything's working okay on her end as we go on board here with her, and you can see how far away Oaksy's getting away from her here. And there's problems here on the front, on the back.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Todd Tufts is upside down here. He had nowhere to go. Big problems for him.
Oh my goodness. Man, I didn't think cars could flip at this racetrack like that.
We had a pretty good camera there from Chantel's end, but the only way to truly know what exactly happened. Take a better look here. It looks like Joe Niddleman actually got tagged there from Tufts as they were going into turn 2 here, and this is where it all started. Here is PTM Instant Replay in all of its glory, folks. Just right in there, man. Just that's all it took, and all of a sudden Tufts kind of got the raw end of that deal. He got flipped upside down and crashing hard. I don't know how Oaksy avoided him and the rest of the field, but even Young took a tag out of him, and it was all over for Todd at that point. He was upside down and crashed pretty hard.
That is unbelievable. I've never. It's hard. I mean, you know, this is iRacing and all that, but I've never seen a car actually do that, where they get straight up into the wall like Tufts did, and it just immediately just took him over. That's just wow. He just went for a heck of a ride.
It's a bit of a crazy sport we live in, and a crazy racing background as well, and unfortunately was not what the way they wanted it to play out and how they wanted to see it go through. But right now, when we get back to the restart here, it will definitely be Tyler Holden and Cindy's run here. But Matthew Hofford is gauging up on him, and talk about a hard charger of our night. We got 2 of them right there with Lancaster and Ryan Kling. Those 2 right now currently 6 up for Lancaster, 8 up for Kling. But that doesn't mean nothing unless you get that race win in. So
I tell you what, though, for especially those guys, you know, especially Kling, he's been having a little bit of trouble here tonight. Been involved in a few incidents, but he's been able to get himself in contention here, and we'll see what he can do now that he's up here to the front. Same thing with the 22 as well. He's been in the middle of the field most of the race, but now here he is up in the top 5. We'll see what he's got.
He's had a few bits in the butt here every now and then, but it seems like he'll be okay to really corner off and try to finish out some runs here. And of course, this has only been week 3. Still got a long season ahead of us here, Sparky, and it's definitely good to have you back in the booth talking a little bit, and hopefully we can get you more in here, because honestly, it's just not the same without some help around here.
Absolutely, I'd love to come back up here with you again and do some more of these races. I've kind of missed this stuff up here, and this has been good stuff here tonight, watching these guys and watching the wrecks, but watching the good racing too that these guys can put on. These guys are really good out here. They really put on a good show. This is a tough track, and you know, we've had some green flag running out here too, and these guys put on a good show. But definitely been a pleasure being up here with you here tonight as well, and hopefully we can continue this on further.
Hopefully so. Well, right now, currently, with the drivers out at this point here, Robert Kahn and Jesse Baker are the only 2 for sure out completely. Todd Tufts is still trying to get cleared out. He is out of pit road, so he is okay, but he'll definitely have a little bit of work to do when it comes to this restart zone, as they will bring it down the back straightaway and set them up for the final laps here. Only 14 laps remain here, and time is just slowly but surely starting to expire away, and the drivers know it, and they got to be starting to be a little more cautious and wary about how they run this last bit in.
Absolutely right. Here we go. We're getting the green flag, and we're going to boogie on down here into turn 1.
They'll pace it around here at turn 1 as they clear it in. Lancaster gets into Hoffer a little bit there on the side. Brian Healy way up on the high banks, trying to get something to work in a little bit more. I know he's from the Rock, but I didn't realize he was trying to be a little bit of a pirate and go up to the high zone and try to get the high banks of the sea there.
Oh, something happened to Warren Young there on the front straightaway.
He's already in pit road. He's had to go in and get a tow. Unfortunately, that's going to slow him down completely, almost end his night totally. And Lancaster gets right, get a little tag there from Ryan Kling. He unfortunately gets pummeled out of turn 3. Only caught the little bit of that, but I know Kling got him, and caution is out, so now we can actually go back and watch the full replay of that 9th caution of the night so far. God, man, these cautions just keep coming out at such inopportune times for some drivers and better times for others, but let's find out first what happened to Warren Young here with the replay.
Back to see behind him.
Yeah, he just drove it too hard out of turn 4, and it just completely ruined him there. Set him way back there, and unfortunately with nowhere to go, that kind of just took him out completely. Now here's what happened to Lancaster here on the replay screen. Take a look here from the blip cam. You can see right there, Kling coming down. To me, it looked like just a racing ordeal. He just came in, and both drivers coming in hot. But Nashville, man, that's just one of those tracks. It's like Bristol to me, man. It just continues to torture and despair anybody who tries to make a big move around here, and especially when there's no time to be making mistakes.
Yeah, especially with the amount of laps that are left. These guys are now getting down to the nitty gritty here, so it's time to, I hate to say it's cliche, but you got to put the pedal to the metal at this point.
You got to hammer down, put the pedal to the metal, got to tighten up the belts, I think someone said a while back.
Yeah, somebody said that a while back. Yep, absolutely.
I don't think we talk to him too much anymore, but that's all right. So right now, currently, we show on your scoreboard here, this is top 5 right now. Holden, Taylor, Hoffert, Pottle, Oaks are the guys that are going to be the ones to watch out here and to watch for on this one. Still got a lot of top tier guys that are trying to battle it in and fight them in hard, though. There's not still time and room for others to take this one.
Yeah, it's kind of now we had that unique top 5 a little bit ago, and now we got like the veterans up here now in that top 5 with Taylor, Hoffert, Pottle now up in there, and now Oaksy up there too. So we got some of them cagey veterans up in there.
The new cat, Tyler Holden's been showing up quite a bit here today, and next time we see these drivers, it will be next week at Iowa. Of course, a track I am very familiar with, but never have we seen the Super Late Model Division ever ran there. And thankfully there they will also be running on those custom setups, so they will be using those to full advantage, and I think really kind of help bolster and expand the roster when it comes to getting things taken care of, so I think that will help them out big time there.
Yeah, I wonder why you're so familiar with Iowa. I wonder how that is.
Probably the same reason why I'm going to go visit the SRX Racing Series and the NASCAR Gator Outdoor Trucks, which is about an hour away from where I live, of course, at Knoxville Raceway.
Well, that's going to be quite something, just saying.
Oh, man, I'm excited. It'll be the first time I ever get to watch. Don't hate me in the comment section, folks, but I've never actually been to a NASCAR race entirely in my life. I know I should have been to Iowa Speedway once. I've never been a fan of asphalt. I've never been a fan of it. I'm sorry, but I watched it on live television. The only reason I was because there's just certain drivers I liked watching, and even it got harder for me to watch as time went on because it just wasn't my thing. But if you made me watch a dirt race, it was like 1 hour of just pure great racing from different classes, different styles, and you would see something new and different every time. That's why I kept watching it. So I do apologize to those at home that are asphalt purists and like speed. I'm more of a kind of a dirt kind of guy where you have no idea what the heck's going to happen out there until you watch for yourself. So sorry.
I'm sure those guys will get great from that for sure. It's interesting to find out about the dirt side as well. So
I just feel
all who's a deuce.
I just feel like if you're gonna start with dirt, because that's how racing started in the first place with the old moonshiners and the moon runners. That was how they started. They had to run through the dirt and they had to get used to it. So, and that's where NASCAR began anyway. So it's like, well, why not go back to the dirt? I mean, obviously they're going to Bristol Dirt for the Cup Series, which should be an interesting thing. But to me, it's like it's a no-brainer. The way I look at it, and it's a no-brainer also when the green flag flies around here. Try to finish this one out and see if we can get this one cleared out and taken care of here. Bring it.
Definitely.
Bottom down out of.
Definitely safe, miss.
I swear. All right, coming to the final laps here, Sparky. Call it as you see it.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Holden's got the lead currently right now as we're approaching lap 118. Looks like we've got 2 laps to go at this point.
Here we go now. Green flag flies high in the air, and it's going to get a little more crazy and hectic around here because the driver's going to be trying to make some moves. Here comes the white flag this next time by out of that straightaway.
Yeah, it looks like the battle's going to be for second because Holden is just took off here. Right now it's between Hoffert and Cindy Taylor. And oh, Huffy goes around on the backstretch.
Oh, he goes around there on the back straightaway. Unfortunately, nowhere to go. Caution does not going to come out, though, because they're on 2 to go. The white flag is out. We'll have to look back at that in a minute, but right now, Cindy the closer Taylor stays in it with it. Jeffrey Oaks also following in pursuit. Tyler Holden coming. No, there's trouble there for Healy. Ropes into the backstretch. Big trouble there on the backstretch. Oaksy gets tagged, but coming out of turn 4.
Goodness.
Holden will win it.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now we really gotta visit up all the rest of that because I think there might be a little bit to take a look there, but I don't know what in God's green earth just happened, but Tyler Holden took this one home, and for a debut win, that's not bad.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Anything else you want to say there?
Yeah, I'm just checking back on the replay as well, what was going on back there, and that's why I just got excited for a minute.
All right, let's go back, take a look at the replay before we go and bring our drivers in, because that needs to be looked at. Let's go to the first part here and see what happened after the 3 wide battles here. So Hopper gets tagged here. Healy gets in around as well. And the camera angle is pretty bad there, to say the least. We gotta try that again here, producers, for crying out loud.
I gotta get programmed in there.
It's hard to get a good camera angle around here, they said. Oh, I say that's a bunch of BS because you got the blimp cam up there. Oaksy just drove it in hard. Hoffer had to back off. Healy gets in the wall. Nettleman gets tagged in there. And then that's where everything else kind of went crazy around here. Because this is where I'm going to take a look here. You can see it coming out of turn 2. Let's see where Oaksy was trying to see if he was... He got loose there. That's what happened. He got loose out of turn 2. He tags Healy.
Yep.
Healy did not do anything, and Oaksy just overdrove it. Gets set in there, and it just cost him dearly, but I'm surprised Oaksy was able to save it, considering how bad that thing was tore up.
Especially to keep it straight like he did after he careened off the wall like he did. To keep it straight and just finish this thing. Wow.
Indeed.
Impressive.
Indeed, indeed. Well, folks, the race results are now in, and they're coming up on your scoreboard here on the show. Here's how it finishes out. Tyler Holden takes the race win, his debut on the show, and debut at Pedal to Metal. Second goes to Cindy the Closer Taylor. Third to Chantel Throttle Pottle. Fourth, Chad Lancaster. Fifth to Matthew Hofford. Sixth to Joe Nuttleman. Seventh to Jeffrey Oaks. Eighth to Brian Healy. Ninth to Ryan Kling. 10th to Todd Tufts. 11th to Warren Young. 12th to the Rouse, Nick Robertcon. You're not in this race, there's Sloanaker. And then 14th to Jesse Baker to round out our field here tonight. And now that will bring up our guys to talk with. Third place finisher to start with will be Chantel the Throttle Pottle, and I gotta believe she is probably a little thrilled about this one. She's had a bad going last season. I think she's starting to finally bring it back around here.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. She ended up third. Most of the race she wasn't like up in the top 3 or anything like that, but how about that? Good finish for her tonight.
Looks like actually she's a little bit busy right now dealing with getting out of the car, so we're going to go ahead and bring in the driver that has taken it all here tonight. That is Tyler Holden. He takes home the victory. And Tyler, man, did you have some work to do around there. We thought it was game over for you after turn 4's little incident. Spin yourself around. What happened down there, bud? Somebody might want to get the hamstring down. I think we might have some technical difficulties down there.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we got you, buddy.
What was the question? I didn't hear it.
So you come out with the race win here tonight, but we thought it was game over there for you out of turn 4. How is the car handling it? What happened exactly there with that issue out of turn 2 there?
The car was really tight before I put tires on, and I just didn't get enough heat into them before the restart, and just had no grip coming off the 2 the first time.
But managed to hold stable and hold line here all the way through, and talk about having to hold off a lot of your guys here. I believe this is your first time out on the show, and you take a race winning, man. That's pretty impressive to say the least.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to win. I was just going to ride tonight.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, even though you got the race winning and all that, who do you want to thank you for this one tonight, bud?
I want to thank.
I think those glitch graphic gremlins keep attacking us around here there, Sparky.
Yeah, it does sound like it.
I just want to thank Dark Moon Motorsports. They're the one that told me about this.
That's not us canceling them out, folks, as well. That's just, unfortunately, that's something on his end that is getting caused. I think that's one thing with computers and issues, unfortunately, so. Well, Tyler, unfortunately, we can't keep you going here, man, so we're just going to have to call it good. But nevertheless, congratulations on your race win here, and hopefully we get those audio errors fixed up next time, bud.
Yeah, thanks for interviewing me.
Yeah, we can get you now. Like, you're talking, but then all of a sudden it just cuts out. That's why we're saying, like, I know you're trying to thank probably the guys in the chat here right now. I know we got a good friend of yours, probably Brendan Tracy, for tuning in, so, but nevertheless, Tyler, congratulations again, man. We're gonna have to get you on through here, all right? We'll see you next time out, buddy.
All right.
Just gotta keep the show going around here, unfortunately, folks. It's just kind of the way we gotta do it around here, so. All right, so we'll go ahead and get our second place finisher in as well. Sydney the Closer Taylor taking this one home as well for herself. And not bad considering she had a race win in last time out in the Truck Series of Bristol. Good to see her back in that position, but I guarantee you she will have herself a chance and a half to get the first some sooner or later. And then Chantel Throttle Pottle finally, I think, kind of getting out of that little slump she's been having. Looks like maybe she's starting to figure things out, but a little break or two here and there never hurt, and she ends up taking home third place, so congratulations to her. And also, before we go, Sparky, we got to have a little word in for our good friends over at Maconi Setup Shop, at Matt Mills Racing Team, at Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, at SimRacingMerch.com, at GridFinder, at the ButtKicker, FEGPC.net, Brandon Minnick Sim Racing, Pottlez Wrapz, and of course GreenTech Energy. Thank you again to all our sponsors and everyone that helps bring on the shows and help us keep things rolling here on the gravy train with the biscuit wheels. It's been a great show and a great standings, and what a battle all the way it was to the end. Great to have some new drivers in here. Great to have some folks coming on out for a good time. Folks, this has been the end of it here for us, but Sparky, any final thoughts before we call it a night?
Tell you what, it was fun being back up here in the booth, and that was quite an action-packed race. It was pretty good to watch, pretty good to call tonight. Pleasure being back up here with you again.
Hopefully you can get a little more in here, man. I miss having you, and always a pleasure to go. So, but for now, folks, we have to call it a night. We're going to call it good. So from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, thank you again for everyone for tuning on in. Thanks for supporting the show. But don't go anywhere. In about 20 minutes, I've got some dirt track racing for you. And we're heading down to Lima Land, where I know how that track is. That's the official racetrack right now for the Dirt Series and Street Stocks, and I've been having a blast down there and having a handful as well. Those Mississippi Dirt Boys are in for as well. So for now, we'll call it good. Be safe. God bless. Take care. Good night, everybody. We'll see you here in a little bit.